Alrighty, and welcome back to another episode of So How Was Your Day? My name's Sakim Al-Ridan, and I'm here with my good friend...
Cameron McGill.
Alright, Cameron, it's nice to have you. This is my first time doing a podcast with somebody other than my brother. This is like episode 4,
You're saying we're not brothers.
I mean, we're close enough to brothers. You're my best friend.
Fair enough.
But you know, blood versus friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's not that much of a difference. At least in my...
Yeah, but like I said, so Cameron's my best friend, and this is what kind of the direction that I've wanted my podcast to go, to slowly introduce just a bunch of crazy cast of characters.
You're just going downhill now.
Yes, that's the point. Just downhill, just skybomb.
Qayssar and then...
Yes. We all know that Qaysar's the best co-host. But anyway, so today for an opener, I don't really have any jokes or anything, but I wanted to tell a funny story just to kind of follow up with a wonderful animal that I talked about in my in episode 2. Cameron, this is about your dog.
I don't want to call it my dog, my family's dog.
Okay, so you have to tell me, what's his name?
Chance.
Chance. Okay, so you remember 2 episodes ago, I was talking about this crazy dog that was just pooping on the neighbor's yard, and I could not remember his name, so his name is Chance.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I walk into the door to Cameron's house, and I don't know why, but this dog just runs up to me, this weird green thing in his mouth. And Cameron, he's like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. And I'm like, okay. And this dog just jumps on top of me and is like running all over the place, wagging his butt all over the place. And I'm like, what do you have? And then I just see this cucumber in this dog's mouth. And I'm like, why do you have a cucumber?
He was proud of this cucumber.
He was! He ran all over the house, and Cameron came out and he brought the cucumber to Cameron, and then he came back to me and dropped it at my feet. And I'm like, why? And then he picked it up and ran over to Cameron, and Cameron just pulls the cucumber out of his mouth. And then, what? You shoved it back into his mouth, right?
Well, I just looked at it like he didn't destroy it. Everything else he finds, he's destroyed it. This is the first thing that he found. Was like, this is for my master.
Yes,
and he's just like, be impressed. I found something of a different color.
Usually he destroys everything, right? From your underwear to your shoes to...
Anything of value that is, like, edible in any way to a dog, he will find and destroy.
He understands what's most precious to you, and then he destroys it.
Yes. Brand new shoes, gone. Any nice socks, gone.
I can officially say that I am displeased with this dog. I can't say that I hate it, but...
I can!
Yes. So, Cameron, how was your day?
It's been a little stressful.
A little stressful?
Just a little stressful.
I mean, what in life isn't stressful? That's my question.
This is true. But yeah, we were supposed to go camping today, but then it just started pouring rain, and we're like, nah.
Just, it started like 2 drops, and we're just like, nah.
But overall, it's been a good day. We made the decision to go to an Indonesian restaurant in Atlanta, under the context that we were going to have to go in wearing dresses, and I wasn't sure how I felt about this, but I came along for the ride.
Yes, we ended up
I said,
not
I'll hear
wearing
you out.
I actually should be wearing my soldering right now, but I'm not. Instead, I am surrounded by everything in your closet.
Are we not giving context that we weren't actually going to wear dresses?
Well, we didn't end up wearing dresses.
We didn't, but...
But I wanted to.
They weren't actual dresses. They were like traditional Indonesian clothing, right?
I was gonna let them think they were dresses.
I would like to clarify that they were traditional Indonesian garbs.
Yes, they as you know, I went to Indonesia for 2 years, and while I was there, I picked up some Indonesian clothing, which some of them were traditional Indonesian skirts, which are called sarongs. I usually wore them to sleep because it's really hot, and the skirt's just nicer to wear. Cameron was uncomfortable wearing these, so we ended up not wearing them.
Hey, I was going to UK. You bailed. You bailed, and I said, okay. I was game.
I was game until we actually were at the place.
And you put it on, you're like, I feel silly.
Yes.
I'm like, if he said it, I ain't got it.
Yes, that's true.
I got out of it.
Yes.
I did wear the hat, though.
Yes, the hat was nice.
Yes.
My mom called it a do-rag, and I can't remember what the Indonesian lady called it. Some sort of traditional Indonesian, like, bandana thing. When you put it on, you look like a pirate, feel like a pirate, but you're, like, Indonesian jazz.
Yeah, Indonesian pirates.
Yeah. No, Indonesian jazz.
Okay.
Yes. Anyway, so, today I'd kind of want to talk about how we met. Cameron, from what you can remember, how did we meet?
Those were dark days.
Those were dark days. I try not to remember those days.
That's the day it all went wrong.
Yes, probably.
No, I mean, it was, it's your pretty traditional origin story of random awkward band kid noticing other random awkward band kids, and it was just like, See, because I had noticed you places, like, you didn't really hang out with a bunch of people.
Oh, yeah,
like,
I was totally just like...
You were very introverted.
Yeah, I was way introverted, nor did I care to have friends. I was just there. I was
Yeah, you, like, pretty much kept to yourself almost completely.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had seen you hang out with one or two people, but despite that, you were the only person in high school, like, the only person I could ever heard of, that no one ever said a single bad thing about. And this is high school, so that doesn't exist. That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Like, Gandhi could walk in, people would talk crap.
Yeah.
Like, but somehow you beat Gandhi, and no one said a bad thing about you. And I'm like, if this person has absolutely no one on their bad side, why does no one really seem to be on their good side?
Cameron, we have to remember, I'm extremely humble.
Yes. I mean, I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how is no one on this person's good side if no one's on their bad side? Because everyone talks crap in high school. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I was a decently nice person, but I mean, I was not perfect, and, you know, naturally, everyone hated everyone.
Yeah, everyone hated everyone.
So, it was essentially like, I eventually was just like, you! You're like, hello? And I said, we're gonna be friends.
That was pretty much it.
And you pretty much were resisting, like, oh, weird guy, okay. And you kind of humored me, and it's just like, I just kind of kept bothering you and pestering you, saying, yeah, we're gonna be friends, you seem like a good person. Poke, poke, I'm currently poking him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was like, oh, you live on the same street as me. Because you were just right down the street, like within walking distance. I'm like, oh, it's decided, we're friends now.
Yes, that was pretty much it. As I remember correctly, I remember that you and your best friend, Levi, would always hang out together. And I thought Levi was, like, the coolest guy.
Really?
I did. I thought he was...
No offense, Levi, I love you so much.
I thought Levi was just a really cool dude. And I'm like, I want to be friends with Levi. And then you kept poking at me. And I'm like, well, I guess he's cool too. He hangs out with Levi.
Oh, wow, I was the in. I was your in to Levi. I never knew that. I am currently finding out this information.
No, we talked about this
I don't
before.
remember this, actually. I was just the in.
No, but I wanted to invite Levi to my 16th birthday party. And I'm like, I can't invite Levi without inviting Cameron. And so I invited both of you to my birthday party. Then that's when you found out you lived really close to me. And then you invited me over to your house to do absolutely nothing. Yeah, just
play
ping pong.
Ping pong.
Yes, and then that was how our friendship started, over ping pong.
Yes. Aggressive, competitive, philosophical ping pong.
Yes, because you can't be aggressive without also being philosophical.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because we would just start playing ping pong for hours, just bouncing the ball back and forth.
Yes.
And then just discussing everything under the sun. Life, death, the universe.
Yes, exactly. It was great. I liked it. It was good times.
It was interesting times. There was much
Easier
aggression
times.
over the fact that you could never beat me at ping pong.
I beat you sometimes. I have to say, you are better than me at ping pong. But I could keep up.
It was 60-40. At best, 60-40.
I would...
Closer to 55-55. Like, it was pretty back and forth.
I would almost say it's like 45-55 kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said 55-55. That's not how math works.
That's not how math works. 45-55.
See, we both won 55% of the time. I think that's perfect, yes.
In a theoretical world, that can be
Yes.
perfect.
I mean, your father was actually a competitive ping pong player at one point in his life.
At one point in his life,
And
yeah.
he taught you a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I'm just competitive.
And then I'm just like, I can't lose.
So it's like, I actually know skill. And I'm like, I will try really hard.
Yeah, it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's about it. So, yeah.
And then it's been downhill ever since, you know?
Oh my goodness. I don't think it's downhill.
Nah, I'm being facetious, of course.
Yeah. I mean, everyone has had their ups and downs. But overall, I think we're really good friends.
Mm-hmm.
And now I have to ask, what's the stupidest thing you've ever seen me do?
Alphabetical, numerical, how do you want to start?
From least funniest to funniest.
Well, I mean, honestly, there's not that many bad things, but I'd say just the stupidest moment I've probably ever seen was a few years ago, and I made a stupid decision, and I bought kayaks. Not sit-on kayaks that you can just hop on and, just go for a lovely little stroll down a river. No, I bought whitewater kayaks for me and my less than athletic friends to strap ourselves into and go on a river. But we were like, yeah, we're going to be smart about this. We're going to practice in a pool because that's safe. What could possibly go wrong?
Yes.
And so if you don't know, when you buy a whitewater kayak, you literally squish your legs down into this thing and you are strapped into it.
Like, you can't get out.
Like, you have this, tutu of rubber that gets stretched over the edge of the boat that suction cups you to it. So, if you were in this thing and without using your hands try to stand up or move, you can't. You were duct taped in. And there's this special little strap on the front of it that you have to pull up, and it just pulls the entire thing loose. It breaks the gasket, essentially. And that's how, when you flip, you have to pull this cord, like a ripcord, and you get pulled out. But if the thing gets tucked under the seal, there's almost no way to get out unless you know what you're doing. But we didn't. But we're all practicing, and we've done it a couple times, got hopped in, and, just gotten out, and it's close to the end of the day, and Hakeem just is in it, and, we're all just talking, we're all pretty much done. Hakeem's like, I want to just, play around a little bit more. And you just hop in the thing, you strap yourself in, and you just wade out into the deep end, off to the other side of the pool. And you flip. And we're just talking. We're just having a casual little conversation. I glance over. He's under there. He'll be fine. You see a little bubble. Yeah, he's fine.
I'll have you know, I didn't panic until the last second when I realized that the strap was tucked underneath the kayak.
Because he's there for a good second, and I'm just like, he should really be up by now. And about that time, you hear swoosh, 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 and you just see this head bobbing up out of the water, just trying so desperately to get their head above the water, because the kayak's still upside down, and he can't get, because he tucked the strap in and went to the other side of the pool and flipped.
Yeah.
So he's just underwater, can't get it undone. Now he's trying desperately to flip himself back upright, a technique we have yet to figure out.
Yes.
And we all just say, crap. And I'm like, guys. And we have to swim over to the other side of the pool. We try to pull him out. We can't get him out. We have to drag the kayak back to the shallow end. So two of us, me and Levi, of all people, have to force the kayak back upright with Hakeem's like, hi guys.
Yeah, I didn't really panic in that situation. I was running out of breath and so trying really hard, but I don't think I was too panicked.
Well, no, I mean, because you were underwater, so the world was upside down, but you did see legs coming towards you.
Yeah.
You're like, my friend!
Yeah.
Save me!
Yes. I'm glad you think that's the stupidest thing I've ever done, because I've done quite stupider in my life.
Yeah, but I mean, with our friends, stupid is pretty much how close have you been to death around us.
That's true.
All of us has been even closer than that.
That's true, and I have a story where you weren't necessarily close to death, but it was sure funny to watch.
Oh.
This was actually happened at least a month before your story. Before we were looking in the kayaks, and we were doing all. No, we haven't even started looking in the kayaks yet. We were preparing to go camping.
Okay.
Yeah, we were getting hyped for this camp out. The camp out where you decided you wanted to buy kayaks, actually. And I remember we had to clean out your pool.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. So
this is so anticlimactic, though.
What? I like the story.
Okay.
I tell the story a lot.
Okay.
Anyway, so we start cleaning out your pool, right? All the water's drained out, and there's a bunch of gunk on the inside.
The pool was really old. We haven't used the pool for years, and we finally had the money to repair it. So the pool was filthy. So we drained the water. We were having to go in there and scrub the edges clean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I can't remember what exactly just made you decide to do this, but at one point you tied a rope to the edge and you got down and you were cleaning in it, right?
So I have I used to. We've since moved.
Yeah.
We used to have a pretty decent sized pool that had a deep end, a rather deep end, and a shallow end, and there was this long sloped surface leading from the shallow end to the deep end. So I had the genius idea of tying a rope on myself, and it wasn't for fun. It was to scrub the sloped edges.
Yeah.
So we tied a rope to the other end of the pool, and then tied it around my waist and lowered me down rappel style.
Yeah. And so we lowered you down, and then you started cleaning, and then you just started playing around. You got bored for some reason, and you just started like running back and forth along it. Not too fast. You weren't being like careless, but you were still being stupid.
I mean, it was Mission Impossible. I was on a slippery surface. What was I supposed to do?
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm like, Cameron, you better stop. You're gonna hurt yourself. And you're like, okay. And then you go back to cleaning, right? You go back to cleaning, and I say, man, wouldn't it have been funny if you just smack your face into the side of the pool? And they're like, yeah, that would have. And then you slap headfirst into the pool, and I just start busting up laughing.
Like, not doing anything. I'm in the middle of my sentence, like, yeah, that would be it. Whack! Like, I didn't fall. The ground came up to meet me.
The ground decided to be like, yeah, that would be funny.
Just faceplant the concrete. And you're just dying laughing until you see the blood.
Yes, then all of a sudden just the blood gushes out, mixing up with the muck and the weeds and all that
From where
stuff.
my head face-planted concrete.
Yeah, your glasses
with
were the one that
mold on
pierced
it.
Yeah, your glasses were the one that pierced your skin.
Yes.
To this day, you still have a
Yes.
teardrop scar, right?
I literally got the prison. I got the prison teardrop scar from where my glasses snapped in half and stabbed me in the face.
Yeah, you broke your glasses that day. You went to camp with taped up glasses.
Mm-hmm.
And you also went to camp having to clean the wound every day.
Yes.
I remember that. That was funny.
Yes, I still have the pictures. But I always love to say that I was being stupid and my glasses stabbed me and said stop.
I still like to say the ground decided it would be funny if you face planted.
My face got in a fight with the ground and my glasses stabbed me and gets to stop. Break it up.
Yeah, just like break it up. What?
I'm now rubbing the scar.
Yes, you are.
The memories.
Does it hurt?
No, I it was pretty good after that. Like, the scar is gone, and it's behind my glasses. People can't really see it.
Yeah, but it's cool when you show it.
Yeah, it's
when you show it off.
Yeah, it's like, I've killed a man.
Yeah, but you have to show it off. It's like, I have these scars for a reason. So, I actually have some stupid stories about myself.
Mm-hmm.
Have I told you about the time I went from Hulk to Superman?
No.
So this was the time that I was living in Idaho. So I was about 13, 14. And in Idaho, most places are farmland, right? And so I was on my grandma's farm. And they have this one shed that has just this really slanted tin roof, right? And my cousins who live there, they decided it would be cool if they put the trampoline underneath this really tinted tin roof on the shed. And what they would do is they would bounce off the bounce on the trampoline high enough to get onto the tin roof. It's not that high of a jump. It was probably like 2 feet from the trampoline.
It sounds like something I would do.
Yeah, no, and it was a lot of fun. It took a little convincing for me to go from the trampoline to the roof because I'm a fat kid. I ain't getting up there. But eventually I did it, and I remember the first couple of times I would bounce, and then I just tummy land onto the trampoline. And it would hurt, but I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And then all my cousins would drag me up, just drag up this fat kid up the tin roof.
Just tie a rope around his pinky, it's fine.
But then I got better at that, and I would be able to successfully get from the trampoline onto the roof on my feet, and then back down on my feet without hurting myself. And so after we got good at this, my cousin had the brilliant idea of jumping from the tin roof onto the trampoline onto the ground. He dubbed it being the Hulk, because in order to do it successfully, you'd have to do a Hulk jump off the trampoline from the tin roof onto the trampoline, and then you'd have to land like the Hulk would, kind of thing.
Just punch the ground, you're fine.
Yeah, just poof, punch the ground. And I was like, fat kids don't go in air. And so, like, I ain't doing this. But they would do it, and they did it, like, so flawlessly because my cousins are very athletic. He went to a very small school where he was the star basketball player, the star football player. He probably would have been in the marching band if they allowed him, but scheduling conflicts.
I did it.
Yeah, but, he has to play in the football and the basketball, and he can't be the star trumpet player either. So, but, like, this was a school where the graduating class was, like, 28 kids. So, he could afford to do that.
Fair.
But anyway, so yeah, he's just a really good athlete, and I love my cousin. And so he would successfully do that, and he was like, come on, you can do it, I believe in you, and he had so much faith in me, so I'm like, okay, I'll try it once. But I should prerequisite this with, it was a very windy day, and so we had to time our jumps, right? So the wind would die down, and as soon as the wind died down, we had to jump onto the trampoline, so that way the flaps on the trampoline, keeping you from touching the springs kind of thing, wouldn't come up and get our feet. Yeah, so like
I'm about to say the wind's not gonna blow you out of the air and like it's Idaho. There's just always tornadoes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so flat. It's just normal. Oh, Category 4 and go inside.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Idaho's just a very windy place, and so if you're not careful,
It's all the cheese.
All the cheese. What? You mean potatoes? Anyways, fart jokes.
I don't know. It's like 1:30 in the morning.
Something along those lines. This is a midnight casting. Anyway, so the wind would pick up the tarp, the flaps on the tent, and so you just had to time it right. And so I timed it right. I waited and I waited. The wind died down, and I like took a deep breath, and that was my mistake. I took a deep breath because in the time it took me to take a deep breath, another gust of wind picked up, but I went for it because when a fat guy starts doing something,
An object in motion is in motion acted upon by an outside force.
Exactly. And so I was running and I jumped and I hit the trampoline, and as soon as I hit the trampoline, yeah, the flaps went. And I'm like, well, there's no stopping, keep going! And so I like tried to just jump as high as I can, and it just nicked my big toe, and then I just went from being the Hulk to straight out arms and body straight to Superman. I just slid across that concrete.
Oh.
No, it wasn't concrete, it was gravel. It was like a gravel road. Just like whoosh across the gravel road. But I was a trooper. I got up and I'm like, yeah, that was cool. I'm not doing it again, guys. I'm gonna go wash off the blood. So yeah.
I can relate to that. Yeah, I've had not that exact experience, but we have I can't remember the name of it, but it's essentially it's like a tightrope. It's like where it's like this bungee cord that you tie between two trees, and you just crank the tension into it, and you're supposed to walk across it.
Yeah.
Like I forget the name for it. Everyone at the Rock Climbing Club's gonna be mad at me.
Tightrope?
It's like a tightrope. I forget the name for it, but regardless, it's like this really taut, springy cord that's like looks like a strap you put on across the car, like you strap down.
Yeah.
It's like that, but you're supposed to then walk across it. And it was the first time I'd ever tried to do it, and naturally it's like, well, I have to do this.
Yes.
I have to master this right now because there's no other way to do things. There's no such thing as practice.
You just keep going at it.
Yeah, you just throw yourself face first and you do it.
Yeah.
And there was this. I had tried it several times, fallen off, got 1-2 steps into it, which I was proud of. Then I'm like, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah. Then you get cocky.
Yes. And then you get on there, and the way it works is like your feet start going side to side, like trying to keep the balance. Like the rope goes further and further and further. And like I'm just like, I can do this, and like they go wider and wider and wider, and then I hit parallel. Like it's like an exponential function of just bad decisions. Because once you're in there, there's no getting out. It's just like wing, 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 and then it's just like I am literally an arrow. And it just sends me face first into the dirt, down a hill, and I scorpion. And I just go.
You just kick yourself in the head.
Yes, and I just scorpion. I kick myself in the head, and then I roll over. And then this was at like the only party at college I went to, and I was not there of my own choice. And I was essentially in the corner until this happened, and everyone just was just like silent. Like I swear the music stops. You hear that one guy. The last drink is taken, and everyone's like, "Oh." And I said, "I'm like,
oh, that might be
oh." And I'm like, "I'm good. I'm good. I'm good."
And your like ribs are like,
The guys are you good? I'm like, "Yep. I'm gonna go back to my book now." I proceed to go back to my tent and read.
oh my goodness.
The one party experience I've had in college.
So far, I mean, you're still in college.
I'm not a partier.
You're not a partier?
No.
Don't worry, I'm not a partier either.
I'm the stupid person that buys like expensive machinery instead of games.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I like that about you.
I build things.
Yeah, you build things. You build the really cool things. Oh, another stupid thing about me. Do you remember the time I stepped on the nail?
Which one? I actually have more than one memory of you stepping on nails around me.
Yes.
It is sadly not that uncommon of an occurrence in my presence.
And you know what? It's always in the same spot. We were painting the same place, and I stepped on a nail twice.
The deck.
Yeah, it was your deck. We were just painting around your deck. I think we were painting it white or something. That or brown.
It was brown.
Brown? And I just...
Don't buy deck over. Not sponsored.
Not sponsored. Hashtag not sponsored. And I can't remember what happened. Did I fall off a ladder, or did I just try to reach a certain place and I just hear a crunch? And I'm like, hey Cameron, I think there's a nail in my foot.
Yeah, you're just so nonchalant. You're just like, yep, there's a nail in my foot, Cameron. And we're like, really? And I just walk over, you looked up your shoulder, I'm like, yep, that's a nail. I'm like, how?
The entire board was stuck to my foot, I remember.
You just started walking and it just came with you. Just, what?
You had to pull the nail. You had to pull the board out from my shoe.
Yeah, I put my foot on your foot, got the grip, and said, 1, 2, 3. And they just like took the shoe off, and it's like, it's only bleeding a little bit.
Yeah, on the inside I was panicking a little bit though, because I thought I was gonna get Tetris. Not Tetris.
You said that then too! You said it then too! You're like, Cameron, am I gonna get the Tetris? You said it then too!
I remember.
I swear!
I remember that. I'm gonna get the Tetris.
You're gonna get the Tetris.
Tetris.
Someone called Nintendo.
It's an Atari thing.
It's Atari, that's Atari.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Atari, that is currently holding up the phone, quite literally.
Our deity holding up the phone. But
I'm
anyway.
gonna get the Tetris.
Okay, I have one more story to tell. Then we're gonna have to wrap this one up. So, did I tell you about the time that I scared my Bible study teacher?
No.
So, throughout my entire 4 years of high school, I went to seminary, right?
Mm-hmm.
You remember seminary. It's just a Bible study class that I'd go to before school. And I had the sweetest, kindest teacher there.
Mm-hmm.
And for the first year, my freshman year, she had her son in the class because her son was a senior and she was the Bible study teacher. And so we'd just be in class together. Almost every day, her son would scare me. Just pop out at a random place at the end of class and just scare the dickens out of me. And I always remember,
Dickens.
Yeah, the dickens.
The Dickens.
The dickens.
That far.
Yes.
That's bad.
It is bad.
It's only happened to me twice.
It would happen to me every single day. And so I remember one day, I'm gonna get him this day. And I remember it was close to the end of the year, and I hid. And I hid for like 2 minutes because he was talking to his mom,
2
right?
minutes?
Yeah, 2 minutes. 2 whole minutes. When you're hiding and not saying anything, I like literally had to cover my mouth. Like, but
the breath.
yes, because I didn't want to make a single sound. Because I had tried several times unsuccessfully to scare him. And I heard the conversation. His mom was telling him to take a couple of things to the car. I was like, okay, I got this. I'm going to do it. And so I jump out at him. I just scream as loud as I can. Go! And instead of seeing him, I see his mom, my teacher. And I just remember looking at this woman's face. I remember looking at this woman's face, the pure emotion going through her face, right? At first, it's just fear, just, ah! And then it's recognition, and then it's like, oh, what? But she's still screaming. So, like, her eyes go from recognition, from fear to recognition to anger to absolute betrayal. All within time span of her screaming. So it's just like, ah! No, but it was still a high-pitched scream the entire time. And she didn't talk to me for the rest of the day. I'm like, I'm so sorry, please forgive me, I'm so sorry. She's like, and just walked away. And her son comes out and just busts up laughing. And I'm like, oh my goodness. But yeah, so that's another time I was stupid.
I feel like I have to tell a quick one on our friend Christian on that note.
Alright, sounds good.
Just because I'm looking at the whiteboard behind us where he wrote Stalin did nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong.
Because it's there permanently. It's dried and it's permanent.
Really?
It will be there forever.
Yeah, it's there forever.
Yep, Stalin did nothing wrong. It's permanently on the whiteboard in my closet.
Yep.
But he is the most easily startled person on the planet to the point where me and Levi made a bet in band, and I think this was right around the beginning of our friendship too.
Mm-hmm.
I probably came to you like dying laughing about this, and Levi bet me $1 that I could not scare Christian. Was it 5 times or 6 times in under a minute? I think it was 6 times. 6 times in under a minute. Like, he's the kind of guy you go poke and he will jump.
Especially if you poke him in the ribs.
Yes, and I knew him. I didn't know him very well at the time, but I knew how to scare him very well at the time.
Yeah.
But and it was such this like calculus in my head.
Yeah.
Because I got him 3 times really quickly. Like, I put a pencil in his ear, and then I reached around and poked him in the stomach, and then I grabbed his foot. Like, back to back to back, like with like 3-second waiting. Like, he jumped and he startled me. He's like, and he got really annoyed at that point. It's like, stop doing that. And I'm like, I had to count, and I literally had the timer in front of me. I'm like, I gotta wait 20 seconds. I gotta wait 20 seconds. You know, because that'll put us at the 30-second mark, and then I could scare him one more time, and then I'd have to wait till the last possible second to get him again. And I literally there's a pair of tweezers, and I waited. And I plucked the leg hair.
Oh my goodness! That's evil.
It was. But dang it, did he jump? He was scared. And then the last, then it was like counting down. Like, I had 3 seconds left, and it just had to be like, I just put my hands on his face. Like, I just like last possible second he jumped. And everyone in my roll of the band, it was the baritone section, is just rolling their eyes like, he actually jumped 6 times in under a minute. Like, he knew it was coming. There's no way. Like, 6 times. They all gave me $1. They all, like, Levi's like, I was gonna give $1. Everyone's like, take it. Like, I got $5 that day, and it was amazing.
Oh, that's great. That's glorious.
Thank you, Christian.
I love it. And that's a wonderful way to end this. Well, Cameron, thank you so much for being with us today.
It was a pleasure being here.
Yes. Hopefully we can do this again a couple more times.
But you're dying.
I'm not dying that quickly. So
you're moving, which is the same thing.
Oh, I'm not dying that quickly. So it's fine. We can do this a couple more times.
I'll keep you crap about it, though.
Yes.
Tuesday.
All right. Sounds good. But yeah, thank you everyone for listening. As always, if there's anything we can do to make this podcast better, any suggestions from anyone, I'm always willing to listen. And,